So the war on America continues. The New York Times has a report out today showing why the ultra rich are the happiest they've been since the roaring 20s. Their largesse from the Trump government is even greater than we knew. According to the Times, the Treasury Department and Internal Revenue Service are issuing rules that provide hundreds of billions of dollars in tax relief to big companies and the ultra rich. Quoting the Times, with little public scrutiny, the Trump administration is handing out hundreds of billions of dollars in tax cuts to some of the country's most profitable companies and wealthiest investors. The primary target, a 2022 law intended to ensure that a sliver of the country's most profitable corporations pay at least some federal income tax. The provision was passed by Democrats and signed into law by President Biden. It sought to stop giant corporations from being able to report big profits to shareholders and yet pay little or no taxes to the federal government. It was projected to raise $222 billion over a decade. But that was then, during the era of that, bastard Biden and the Democrats who had the audacity to expect the ultra wealthy to pay taxes. How silly. Not surprisingly, Trump didn't see it that way. He'd spent his entire career trying to figure out ways to avoid paying taxes, to stiff the federal government. So when he came into his Republican majorities in both the House and Senate, they gave their benefactors $4 trillion in tax breaks. That's trillion with a T, projected to add more trillions to the deficit. So they decided to start making cuts, of course, to health care and food stamps for Americans at the low end of the financial scale. So now, in order to pay for their gusher to the rich, Republicans have set their sights on Obamacare tax subsidies that help lower-end, middle-income Americans afford health insurance purchased through the ACA marketplace. Those tax credits are set to expire at the end of the year, and Democrats want a deal to extend them one more year. Republicans say no, hence the shutdown. Republicans think if they hold out long enough and cause enough pain, the Democrats will fold. So the Republicans don't even want to talk about those subsidies until Democrats make a deal to reopen the government. But if the Democrats do that, they have to depend on the goodwill of Trump and his Republican toadies to actually do something for their non-millionaire constituents. And how can you do that with people whose go-to position is to lie? This is all part of Trump's war on America, right out of Project 2025. And it's why we have to maintain momentum we gathered with our recent No Kings election, to flip the midterms and make America a democracy again, as the hat says. These are the robber barons of the 21st century, and we, the people, are all that stands between them and their oligarch ambitions. We had a good start with the election, but like crazed guerrillas, they will use every dirty tactic they know to continue their war on our treasury. But I think, once again, the ultimate goodness of the American people will save us from the apocalypse and say, I don't think so, because it's time, America, to do something.